Really quick, everybody, this entire video will be timestamped, so if you don't want to watch all things and just jump straight into a different topic, please check the pinned comment or check the red bar right down below you. Again, this entire video will be timestamped, and I'd appreciate you guys watching whatever part that you liked. And if you're sticking around, guys, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to our full breakdown and predictions for UFC 284, Makhachev versus Volkanovski. Let's get into it. Like I said, timestamps are there for you guys if you want to use them. Starting off with the opener of the prelims, Zubaira Tukhugov versus Elves Brenner. Now, Brenner, I will say I have not actually seen fight, but I do know that Brenner has taken this fight on short notice here. And this is one of his first fights in, like, taking on an actual contender here. So the odds just speak for itself here. Heavy favorite. You can't really put your faith in Brenner here. But of course, again, I don't want to mislead you. I don't know too much about Brenner. I haven't seen him fight. But regardless, if you made it to the UFC, you always have a chance to win, right? These are the best of the best. I got to go with Zubaira here. But again, I'm not too sure about this one because I'm not familiar with Brenner. Moving on to the next fight. I'm excited for this one. Blake Bildre versus Shane Young. Okay, so Bildre, coming off of the Contender Series, he looked absolutely fantastic, and I am all over him here. I'm all over Blake Bildre here. Excuse me, it's a little bit of a tongue twister in that name. Shane Young, you can take a look. Okay, he has some losses, but two of those losses here are actually aged very well. You take a look at the first one, Alexander Volkanovski, but I will note that was also 5 years ago, so make of that what you will. And then he lost to Ludovic Clen, and that also a good fighter in himself. The only iffy one here is Omar Moraes. And now, some people say that this is a horrible, horrible loss to have, but I would say, like, you know what? He lost to a guy that's 10-1. So, again, make of that what you will. He's lost 3 of his last 5, which I don't like. And I'm surprised he's the favorite here because Blake Bildre here has Bildre, excuse me. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing his name. It's a tongue twister. He looked fantastic on the Contender Series, and I'm surprised that he isn't the favorite. I'm going to go with him. I think he's going to continue his win streak here, remain undefeated, and I think he's going to just smoke Shane Young. Moving on to the next fight, Loma Lookboonmee versus Elise Reed. Now, I got to say, we're taking a look at Elise Reed, guys. If you've ever seen Elise Reed fight, not that impressive. Not that impressive one little bit. However, Loma's looked okay. You take a look at her last loss. What was it again? Oh, yes, Angela Hill. And that fight could have gone either way if you really looked at that. And again, a little bit of a layoff. That's something else to note. 2 years ago. How long has it been since Elise Reed? Because I feel like we haven't watched her fight. Oh, okay, maybe I just missed that one. It was 3 months ago. Regardless, if you take a look at Loma Lookboonmee, and we've seen her be okay and have a little bit of a technical ability, I don't see that with Elise Reed at all. I'm going to go with Loma here. I think she's going to get the win by decision. Moving on to the next fight, Jack Jenkins versus Don Shainis. Now, I do like Jack Jenkins in this fight because of the opponents that he's fought. You take a look at his last 5 fights, and also to note, like, look at his record. The record's okay. I mean, could be a little bit closer to undefeated, but regardless, everybody that he has fought have been really, really good fighters. And this guy, as of recent, has been just absolutely stomping people. And it's been really, really good. I really like his record. Now, with Don Shainis, again, I haven't seen the same amount of competition here. His wins are okay. Just, it's nothing special compared to Jack Jenkins here. I don't look at this fight too stylistically. If you take a look at the stats here, everything seems to be pretty similar here. I just really like Jack Jenkins' chances for this one. I think he's going to get this one done. I like his experience. He seems comfortable in there, and he's finishing guys way quicker and way easier. I'm going to go with him. I'm pretty comfortable about this one. He might get another finish in this fight. Next fight here, Jamie Mullarkey versus Francisco Prado. This is going to be a good fight, guys. Now, if you could see, okay, 11-0 here. The wins aren't that great, okay? The wins aren't that great. Look, he even fought an 0-0 guy. So there's the problem there. He's looked great against fighters that aren't that great. Now, Jamie Mullarkey has proven that he's one of those fighters. He can win, he can lose, right? But he's definitely fought better competition. There's a huge age difference here with 28, excuse me, in 20 years. Prado is really, really powerful. This one's a little bit more of a gut feeling here, but I can see Prado catching him. I can see him finishing him by KO. I don't know why. I can see Mullarkey going in there and trying to brawl a little bit. Not necessarily brawl, but like, well, I don't know how to describe it. I can see him just being there, ready to get hit by Prado. I don't know why. That's a little bit more of a gut feeling. I think Prado's going to continue his undefeated streak here. I wouldn't bet on this one, but I'm going to go with Prado for my prediction. Moving on again to the next fight, Kleydson Rodrigues versus Shannon Ross. This one's easy for me. I'm going to go with Rodrigues here. Yeah, had a little hiccup with the loss here. I don't remember who that was, CG Vera. Okay, and you know what? That's an okay fight. Shannon Ross, I'm just not impressed, man. Like, look, loss, win, win. Okay. But Rodrigues has shown some great, really, really nice Muay Thai. I can see him using that to win. I don't know. I feel like he's just going to be a step ahead of him the whole time. Possibly a finish, but I'm going to go with decision. Rodrigues is my pick for this fight. Moving on to the next fight, guys. This should be a really fun one. Joshua Culibao versus Melsik Baghdasaryn. And again, I apologize for pronouncing that name wrong. I think this is a almost 50-50 fight. If you were to make me pick, if you were to make me pick, take a look at the records, okay? Take a look at who they fought. Bruno Souza, and you keep going, okay? Okay fighters, right? But take a look at Joshua's record, okay? Sung Woo Choi, you got some Charles Jourdain, Jalen Turner, and I understand draw and loss there, but still, he fought better competition. And like I said, stylistically, I feel like this is a almost even fight. But the reason why I would lean towards Joshua is because of the different of opponents that he fought. 10-1, 7-1, same kind of record here, same kind of style, which I really like. This is going to be a good fight, and I really don't know who's going to win. But if I had a gun to my head, I'd go with Culibao here. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting, guys. Comment down below if you have a prediction for this fight specifically. Moving on to the next fight. This is going to be an interesting one. Tyson Pedro versus Modestas and Bukauskas. And again, guys, I'm so sorry about the names there. I apologize. This is a very difficult one. This is one that you definitely should not bet on. You take a look at Modestas, okay? He's an alright fighter. Doesn't do anything special. Just has a nice all-round game, right? I don't like the record here. It's an okay. You take a look at all of it. He's lost to some okay fighters, right? Coming back and got a couple wins in 1 month ago and 2 months ago. So that looks very good. But take a look at Tyson Pedro, okay? He's on a great win streak right now. 2 wins, and he's looked really good in those wins, okay? He's looked amazing in those wins. If you take a look at one of those fights, I don't recall which one, but it was probably this one, leg kicks and uppercuts, right? Body kick to ground strikes. I don't know. There was one where he was looking absolutely amazing, chopping down with the calf kicks, and the commentators and even we were watching it, and they're like, oh my God, that was absolutely wild, but here's my problem, okay? Lost to Mauricio Rua. Lost to Oven St. Preux. Okay? I don't like that. And I understand that was 4 years ago. Comes back 9 months ago, 5 months ago. Looks great. Okay? That's where my question marks are for Tyson Pedro. I can see him chopping down the Gladiator's leg kicks here because he's susceptible to those. Again, like he's one of those fighters that just hangs around there, does his thing. I can see him getting caught by the calf kicks, but this is bugging me. Is this guy going to show up? The guy who lost to Shogun, the guy who lost to St. Preux because those are really bad losses. Really, really bad. I don't know. For this one. I got to go with Pedro because, again, the momentum, like I said, he's looked really good in his most recent wins. I'm going to go with him, but this is definitely not a fight to bet on. Moving on to the next fight, and this might be fight of the night, guys. Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield. So we all know Crute goes in there, doesn't have a care in the world, going to win the fight no matter what he does. He's lost his last 2 fights doing that, okay? But he's always fun to watch. He can beat anybody, and he can lose to anybody. So this is another fight I definitely will not be betting on. I can see him taking down Menifield or him rushing in and getting caught by Menifield. I can see both scenarios happening in this fight. This fight's a little bit 50-50 for me. If you're looking for dog money, I actually don't mind Menifield here. However, understand that it's a very, very risky, it's a very risky bet, to be honest with you. I just don't think he should definitely be a 225 favorite. I think this fight is near even to me because of the unpredictability here. Skill for skill, I think Crute's better. But the way that Crute fights scares me. That's my problem with it. I can see him getting caught. I'm going to go with Crute, but I'm not sure about it. Moving on to the next fight, Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. Okay, something to note is I'm liking Justin Tafa on this one. I'm going to pick him. Okay, so something that's a little bit of a concern here is his losses. He's won 2 of his last 5, right? However, Parker Porter also won 3 fights, and these fights are not good. They're not good wins, man. Chase Sherman, Josh Parisian here. Chris Dawkins, losing to Chris Dawkins has not aged well at all. Plus, he's 37. I don't like him. I don't like the shape that he's going to come in. And Tafa seems to, while he's lost, he seems to have been improving every single fight, and he definitely has more power. Of course, if you're taking a look at heavyweights, right, anybody can catch anybody. But I'm pretty confident that Tafa will be able to get this one here. I'm not going to go with Parker Porter. I don't like him. 13-7. Like I said, 5-3 isn't that much better. But still, Tafa seems to be improving. And he's younger. He's approaching his prime. If not, he's already in his prime. Parker Porter's probably on his way out. I don't like that for him. I can see Tafa catching him. But again, it's heavyweight. Anything can happen, right? I'm going to go with Tafa on this one. I might throw a bet down on this one. Moving on to the next fight, Randy Brown versus Jack Della Maddalena. Man, this is going to be an exciting one. So many people are going with Jack. And I am too. He's been killing everybody. If you've seen Jack Della Maddalena fight, and again, apologize, tongue twister of a name there. He's been killing everybody. He hasn't fought anybody of Randy Brown yet. Randy Brown will be the biggest test of his career. Randy Brown is on a very, very comfortable win streak here against really good names. I like it, except maybe Alex Oliveira. But still, what's his loss? Vicente Luque still was a good fight too. I see a scenario where Randy Brown gets it done because, again, you could say that Jack Della Maddalena is untested here Take a look at his fights. The problem is he's been absolutely murdering these guys. He's been on an absolute roll. One of those guys is just an absolute pleasure to watch. I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena here, but I would not be surprised if Rude Boy actually just ended up stopping the hype train here. I don't think that'll happen yet, though. I think the odds are okay. I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena here to win this fight. But again, just Randy Brown's a little bit of a concern. He's a good fighter, too. People forget, but a lot of people are on the hype train. I am kind of too. I want to see him win. I want to see him continue on. It's going to be really fun to watch. That's my pick, Jack Della Maddalena. Let's move on to the co-main event. Moving on to the co-main event, Yair Rodrigues versus Josh Emmett. This fight is not getting the amount of appreciation and attention that it deserves to get, guys. This is going to be an amazing, amazing fight. I don't see a world where Yair Rodrigues loses this fight. I don't understand how people in the comments and like every little breakdown that I've been watching, I don't understand how people have this at a close fight. I don't understand the odds. I do not think that Josh Emmett will win this fight. I think this will be a stand-up war, and I think Yair Rodrigues will beat him at every little part of this fight. This is my most confident pick on the card, and I'm obviously in the minority for thinking that, which makes me think back to myself and say, like, am I crazy for thinking Yair's just better everywhere? Because, again, I'm in the minority of thinking this. So if you happen to be watching this and taking my advice, just know that not a lot of people agree with me here, but this is my most confident pick on the card. I'm definitely going to be betting on Yair Rodrigues. Yeah, you know what? His record, a little bit iffy, but he's looked fantastic in all of these fights, okay? Josh Emmett arguably lost his last 2 fights. He definitely lost to Calvin Kattar. I thought he lost to Danny Ige, but that one was a little bit more in the air. He definitely lost to Calvin Kattar, though. Should not be getting a title shot. And take a look at his last opponents. Shane Burgos is a good win, but still, I think Yair Rodrigues is just going to pick him apart. He's going to use every tool in the striking book, and I think he's just going to take apart Emmett. I don't see this. I see him winning a comfortable decision, 50-45. That's how I see this fight going, and I don't understand why people are so, like, confused on this one. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments. I'm going with Yair Rodrigues. Moving on to the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. Whew, okay. This is a tough one. Because I think Alexander Volkanovski is on his way to being the greatest fighter of all time. But this could tarnish that. Islam Makhachev, I just have a hard time seeing him lose, especially what he did. I wasn't on the train, okay? Taking a look, and this is the criticism he's faced his entire career. Drew Dober's a good win. Thiago Moises, Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, not the greatest of wins. But what this guy did to Charles Oliveira just completely shut him down. And the role that Charles Oliveira was on, I'm completely convinced. I'm completely on the hype train of Islam Makhachev that he could potentially be the number 1 pound for pound of the world. The problem is, Alexander Volkanovski, again, 25-1. He has absolutely stomped everybody in his way. He's moving up and taking on Islam Makhachev. I think he'll be too undersized, and I can't, just because what Islam did to Charles Oliveira, I imagine he's going to do the same with Volkanovski. He's just going to make him seem like that he doesn't belong in there. I've been watching a lot of interviews with Alexander Volkanovski, and I made a video on this. The dude's confidence is almost convincing me to pick him. He's talking about stuff where he's like, he's going to grab me. I'm going to be like a brick wall. I am never going to panic in that fight. If he does get me down, I'm going to get back up. He's talking so confidently, and he has destroyed all of his opponents to the point where I'm thinking, like, should I really be doubting this guy because of what he's done? He's definitely beat up his opponents way better than Islam Makhachev has. Islam is doing control. He's winning all of his fights. Like, both these fighters are so dominant. Take a look at the records. They're so dominant. Both fighters just shut down their opponents, but the problem is Islam is more of a control fighter. Alexander Volkanovski just destroys them absolutely everywhere. Okay? Here, I'll say this. Islam Makhachev shuts down his opponents and beats them. Alexander Volkanovski just destroys his opponents and ruins them. Makes them look like they don't even belong with him. This is such a tough fight to predict. Because, again, they're so good. But I have a hard time seeing Islam Makhachev lose. The win with Charles Oliveira just really threw me on the train of Islam. I'm definitely going to be cheering for Alexander Volkanovski. And even if he keeps it standing, man, even if he keeps it standing, I don't know if he's going to beat Islam Makhachev in the striking because he looked fantastic. He's a great, great fighter. This is the fight for the number 1 pound for pound. It's close, but it's not in my eyes. Does that make any sense to you? I got to go with Islam Makhachev. I really do. But I really want Volkanovski to win. My brain's telling me Islam. But there's a world where I see an upset. Tough fight. I'm going with Islam Makhachev. He's going to keep the title. Alexander Volkanovski is going to go back down to featherweight and ruin the division. Whether it's Yair Rodrigues or Josh Emmett that wins that fight, probably going to be Yair Rodrigues. He's just going to go back down and rule that division. That's how I see this fight going. I'm going to go with Islam Makhachev. I'd love to know what you guys think down below. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new here and enjoy the content, please consider hitting like button. It would help the channel a ton. And subscribe if you are brand new. Check description down below for links to all my other channels. And if you'd like to hear more fight talk about anything MMA related, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. And again, everybody, I will see you in the next one. Take care.